Safety in the skies. There have been 15 accidents involving airplanes here in Florida just this year. This according to the National Transportation Safety Board.
WPTV Chief Investigator Jamie Ostroff looked into whether Florida is more prone to plane crashes than other parts of the country and how officials are working to bring those numbers down in our area.
February 1st, 2024, Clearwater. A personal single-engine aircraft that took off from Vero Beach crashes into two homes. Moments after the pilot communicates over the radio that there's a fire. The pilot and two people on the ground are killed. February 9th, Naples. A charter jet returning from a trip to Ohio comes down on Interstate 75, not far from the airport. The two pilots communicate they're making an emergency landing after both engines failed, just a month after a federal inspection deemed the plane airworthy. Both pilots are killed. 4 others are hurt. Those are just 2 of the 16 Florida aviation accidents so far this year under investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board, a process that can take 1 to 2 years.
Where they look into every aspect to find out where those things, what went wrong. But there are times when things happen.
Peter Reed is an aviation consultant and president of Reed Aero.
Started flying when I was about 14 years old and just absolutely fell in love with it.
He wants you to know flying is safe.
When an airplane comes out of the sky, it's a big event. When you hear about 5 or 10 crack-ups on Interstate 95 in Palm Beach County that happen probably, close to every day, you think nothing of it. It's just routine.
Of all 50 states over the past 10 years, Florida has seen the 3rd largest number of deadly plane crashes, according to NTSB data. California and Texas are the only states that have more.
And to that, your answer is actually pretty simple.
Yes, you have to look at the numbers.
So I did. I analyzed data from the NTSB, Federal Aviation Administration, and the U.S. Census Bureau. Florida is the 3rd most populous state, again behind California and Texas. Florida also has the 8th highest percentage of its population licensed to fly a plane.
We have a large number of people down here that love to fly.
But when you look at the number of deadly plane crashes against the number of people, crashes happen in Florida at a lower rate than in 19 other states. Still, the FAA is working on some changes to make the skies safer over South Florida.
Well, right now, I'm on a committee that is studying the controlled airspace over Palm Beach Airport.
Controlled airspace is the airspace under the control of the tower. Smaller airports like Lantana and North Palm Beach are uncontrolled, meaning that instead of relying on an air traffic controller with radar in a centralized tower, pilots rely on each other to communicate their position.
What they're trying to do is make sure that as the traffic builds, that the airspace that they control is adequate to handle the increased traffic in the airport flow and the flow of the planes around the airport.
The FAA confirmed to me in a statement that the move is the result of a significant increase in air traffic in Palm Beach County in recent years and is intended to make the skies safer. But as Reed showed me, safety in the air starts on the ground.
The key to safety in aviation is training and procedures.
Reed walked me through some of those procedures.
You've got 48 items to check to make sure. This is all before you even get going.
How often do you see someone maybe cutting corners on this list?
Never.
It's a lesson pilots say is instilled in them as students before their first flight.
What's the biggest mistake that you see among students that you try to correct?
Complacency, probably.
Eric Ahrens is the chief flight instructor for Sky Blue Aviation. When you hear about a plane crash, he suggests you keep this in mind.
Well, nobody ever starts out to crash an airplane. Are they preventable? I suppose there are some times when something happens that, like a whole bunch of geese fly into your engine. So it's how preventable was that?
The FAA started looking into those air traffic changes in December of 2023. The agency is also looking to do the same with the airspace controlled by Daytona Beach International Airport. I'm Chief Investigator Jamie Ostroff, WPTV News Channel 5.